to show you what my step-by-step methods are to applying your wraps. I just did a video showing you how I removed this one, so I'm going to show you with this nail how to put your wraps on. And I am right-handed, but for the video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to use your left hand applying on your right nails, which can be pretty tricky when you're putting on polish. So here's everything you'll need. I highly recommend the heater and the nail kit. And your nail kit comes in this cute little baggie. You're going to get the scissors, orange sticks, the cuticle pusher, file, and you'll also get some alcohol wipes in there too. So this is really helpful. This kit without the oil is $12 and your heater is about $20. So I highly recommend those. They're worth every penny. If you don't have a heater, you can use your blow dryer. However, if you are using a blow dryer, you're going to have to hold it on your nail or on the wrap a little bit longer because you have to wait for the blow dryer to heat up. So that's why I recommend the heater, because this is already on right now and it's already nice and warm. So before you get started, go ahead and clean. You can have your alcohol wipes. I just got this from Costco. And then I'm going to use that. I've already washed my hands, so I'm going to use the alcohol to just clean off my nail completely. I've also already filed down my nail to the length that I want it. So once it's nice and clean, I'm then going to use, I actually like the orange stick, pushing back my cuticles. And I don't have to do too much because I've only had my wraps on for a week. So they're still pretty good from the last time I put them on. So my cuticle is all pushed back. It's all nice and clean and ready to go. So I already know what size I want, but what you would first do is kind of size up which one fits your nail the best. And they recommend to go a little bit smaller so you don't have to trim it down. Sometimes I like to go bigger just because I'm okay with trimming it down. So once you find which one, I like to leave the extra. So I'm going to cut off right here. I'll show you up close in just a second. So I'm going to trim this, and I like to pull it up. So I've just trimmed this right here. You're going to see I have some extra. This I'm going to save for toes later on. So I'm going to pull it up with my scissors here because I like to, once I've cut it, it's just easy to pull it right up. And then I'm going to heat it. And I like to heat it until you see it start to bend like this. And then, so I'm going to show you how I do this left-handed. So I'm then going to put this, let's get up close here. See if I can do this at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to put it right up to my cuticle. And I can just set it down right there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this. See it myself and show you at the same time. So I'm just going to lay it right on top, and it's right up against my cuticle like that. So then I can kind of press it down on both sides, and I'm going to smooth it out. So this one is, if you look real close, I'm trying to get it all blurry, this one is a little bit bigger. So I am going to have to trim this one. And what I recommend doing for trimming is if you just pull up on the side here, okay, I'm going to move the heater. If you just pull up on the side here, just kind of up off the edges, that's when I will take my scissors, and again I'm doing this left-handed, so please bear with my shaking, but it's still pretty easy. I'm going to tuck this in here, and then on the edges here, let's see, make sure you can see this, I'm going to just trim it down. And I'm trimming it, I'm holding the scissors right along the edge of my finger to kind of give me a guide. So I've just trimmed that down. And it's going to tuck right in between my nail and my skin right there, and it's perfect. So then I'm going to do the other side because we've got a little overhang right here. So I'm going to come up here, and I really like these curved scissors because then they help it give a good, I'm sorry, I can't talk and cut at the same time. Okay. Anyway, you just kind of guide it along your finger. and then I'm going to tuck it in. I'm tucking it right in between my nail and my skin right here. And then what I like to do is with this guy, your orange stick cuticle pusher, I really don't know what the proper name is, but I'm not a nail tech, so that's okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of right here at my cuticle, I have a little bit of overhang, and I'm just going to tuck it in right under my skin. So if you can see, I've tucked it. It's kind of right under my skin there. And then I'm going to press out, get out all these bubbles. Oops, sorry. Press out all these bubbles, and I really like to make sure that I'm pressing down here at the cuticle, as if you can get that sealed really good, it's not going to come up when your nail grows out. So it's on, and it's still a little long, so you can see that. So at this point, it's on. I've got most of the bubbles out. This is when I'm going to reheat it again. And I'm just going to hold it here for a few seconds. And this is sealing it. It's also making the edge nice and gooey, because then what I like to do is, move this again, is I like to pull on it. I like to pull on the edge here and kind of tuck it over my nail. So in this direction, I'm just taking the edge and I am giving it a nice strong tug. It's sealed here, so it's not going to rip off, but when you've heated it, I'm going to heat it up a little bit more. I don't think you can overheat your nails, by the way. The more heat you have, the better seal you're going to have. So I'm going to tuck it over the edge here. I'm just pulling, grabbing, pulling, and stretching it over so that it's nice and good. If you can get it on the edges here, pull that corner really good. It's going to keep this side from bubbling. And this side I'm going to do the same thing. Just pull real good. You can't really tell how I'm pulling really hard, just so you know. And then I'm just going to smooth it out. There aren't any bubbles, but I'm going to go ahead and I really like this one for the final, make sure there's no more bubbles. And I just because it's fun and soft on my finger. So I'm just going to press that out. There aren't any bubbles. And at this point, I just realized I forgot to bring out my ice pack. But this is when I would use the ice pack to cool it, because you want to make sure it's nice and cool before you file it down. Otherwise, it's going to be too warm and gooey, and you don't want it to bubble up while you're filing it down. So I do have my water right here, so I'm going to cool it on my water bottle. Anyway, so once it's cooled off, either with an ice pack or if you just let it sit there for a minute, then you're going to trim this off. And that's when I like to use the scissors. And I take the scissors and I just go right along my nail line. So I'm going to do that real quick. And it's going right up against my nail. I do have a little extra, but that's okay, because then we're going to file it. So you can see I've cut that off. And now I'm going to file it. And with your file, let's move these out of the way. With your file, you're just going to go straight down like this. And that's getting off, if you can see it here, it's going to get off all of that extra. So let me file it down real good. And I'm going to just peel off that extra stuff. And then on the edges, I really want to make sure these edges aren't pointed, because if they are, they're going to pull up when I start doing stuff. See that corner right there? I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to push it down and I'm going to file right under that nail like that. Alright, so I've pretty much got it. It's all on there nice and good. So there it is. And you can see this way, it's all nice and smooth. One final trick I'm going to give, which I've seen other videos do, is if you take the glass nail file, you're going to file off just this top portion of your nail, because if you're picking a lot, you're probably going to pull it off because it's right up to that edge. So if you use your glass file, you're then going to be able to take off just a thin layer. So I'm going to see if I can do this. And I'm going this time at an angle. So by doing this, by going at the angle, the edge of my wrap is not at the edge of my nail. So you can't really tell, which is great, but there's just a small layer here of my nail poking up. And this is so that it's not at, my wrap isn't right at the edge of my nail, so that when I'm picking at things or scratching at things, my wrap isn't going to come up. So there's that. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks.